Okay, so I'm just gonna start with acknowledging that I personally meeting on Tlokrit territory today, and I think a lot of people would be on Nuu-chah-nulth territory. Um, I'm Jen Dart. I'm the executive director of the Chamber, which is a business organization for those of you who don't know. I've got some members on here, so that's awesome. We are primarily funded by membership dues, and what we do is offer programs, events, and money-saving benefits to our members, as well as we act as advocates and spokespeople for the business community in Tofino. We're run by a volunteer board of directors. They're made up of local business people for the most part. So I just wanted to introduce Joel, and I think a lot of people maybe know him. And he's from Wave Web Design, based in Ucluelet. And he's designed this free learning opportunity for all of us, which is awesome. And you're a web graphic designer as well as brand strategist, I believe, Joel, who works mainly with small businesses or all with small businesses. And the kind of the definition of shopping local is also that getting those local services involved in your business. So that's hopeful, and even just learning more about how you can DIY some stuff for yourself as well too is a great opportunity. So I'm going to turn it over to Joel. He's going to share his screen, but like I said, feel free to interject or raise your hand, put a question in the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat for us throughout.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jen. Yeah, thanks so much, everybody, for jumping on and hanging out today. I know the answer for a couple of you here, but how many people currently own a business right now? Okay, most people. How many people plan to start one? Yeah, or more businesses. Great. Okay. How many people currently have a website for their business? Okay, great. How many people have also wanted to throw their computer into traffic while building their website? That is I. Um, so, yeah, this presentation is just basically a bunch of things that I would have liked to know before building my website and the countless redesigns, revisions, and tweaking that followed. So I want to keep this, as Jen mentioned, keeping it fun and relaxed. So yeah, if you have a question at any point, just, say hello, raise your hand, or type in the chat anything, and we'll get to it. So I'm going to share my screen. You can give me a thumbs up when when everyone can see this. We're good. All right, rock and
Yeah,
roll.
that's good.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so my name is Joel. I live here in Yuki. I play in a band here. I surf, run my business, Wave Web Studio. I started designing when I was in an indie rock band. There's another member here, Mr. Jason here, fronting that band, which I did not expect. So there you go. We were in a band together back in the day. Um, After the band dissolved, I lost my teaching job. I took the leap and went all in on design. Started my studio where we did mostly beer labels. Um, oh, sorry, missed that one. Back in the day, used to design show posters and album art, and that's how things got started. And then we went on to designing beer labels, print advertising, and logo design for local businesses. So as the business evolved, I started designing full identity systems for clients and used that understanding of their brand to build websites. And this led into all of the strategy, website marketing, copywriting, etc. So since then, my work's been featured in design publications in 3 continents, and I've worked with dozens of clients with their websites and branding to reach their goals, clarifying their positioning, doubling revenue, and creating an online presence that they're really proud of. So that's enough about me. Let's get on to the workshop. So storytelling with your website. Why, and jump off mute, why is storytelling important on our website? Why are we even focused on this today?
So you keep
To create customer buy-in.
Yes. Yes, it's important for that. Absolutely. Anyone else? Yeah, so basically to increase buying for sure. And the way that it does that is it storytelling engages customers. We invite them to come along in this journey and hopefully engage their emotions and get them really invested in our offer. It helps your business stand out and be remembered when it's crowded. There's a bunch of people, presumably, that are probably offering what you're offering, and this helps you be remembered and chosen by those visitors. So, humans have been telling stories for all time, right? We're drawn to stories. They help take concepts and simplify the messages, making them more memorable. And that's why lots of teachers like Buddha, and they always showed lessons through stories and parables. So here's most stories in a nutshell. You've got a character who has a problem, and they meet a guide who steps into their lives, gives them a plan, calls them to action to help them avoid failure and end in success. So this idea of storytelling in your marketing is not my idea. It's been around for a long time. The best book I've read on it is Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand, in case you're interested in that. So the first thing, we have our character. So who do we position as the hero in our story?
The customer?
Bingo. Yes, exactly. And that's what a lot of businesses get wrong. I've seen a lot of websites that they position their brand as the hero, but it's the customer, not the brand. If we position us as the hero and we talk about our history and our story and how great our product is, the visitors, their thought pattern is something along these lines of like, oh, here's another hero just like me. I wish I had more time to listen to their story, but right now I'm looking for a guide to help me win the day. So to compel the visitors, we need to tell a story where they're the hero, or otherwise they're not going to care. So all good stories revolve around the question, will our hero get what they want? But first, we need to understand what they want and really clearly articulate that on our website. So I'll give some examples here. The first one's Fresh Prep. And they tap into what the customers ultimately want. Notice that they don't say meal kit delivery service. They speak to the customer's desires, which is faster and easier meal times. Integrity Medicine, they understand that their customers are seeking simple and affordable healthcare, and then they've displayed that front and center, paired with a supportive image for their value proposition here. And then I thought this one was kind of funny. I killed a cactus. I'm sure this speaks to any of us who are horticulturally challenged, not Jason, but this phrase sounds like something they may have heard their customers say. So they likely have some kind of problem or challenge or desire, right? This is the second part of this framework. Once we define what the customer wants, we also must define what's getting in the way. We want our visitors to say, hey, this business, they know me. They understand me and my struggle, and this helps build empathy, trusts, and helps them connect with us, right? Here we have Zen Founder, the hero section of Zen Founder's website, and they understand that their audience can't thrive when they're constantly battling burnout and isolation, all common to entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs themselves, so this is probably some of their own struggles. And then they've showed that right on the home page here. This is an example from a bookkeeping and accounting business. They clearly understand their customers' frustrations, missed filings, stress about audits, unending paperwork, right? And they've addressed them front and center here. Let's take a look at one more. And this is from an orthodontist, and they've identified a problem deeper than crooked teeth, for example. They touch on confidence and self-esteem and suggesting that people with healthy smiles are more competent and successful. So we can gather this information by talking to our current customers, having a chat, asking them, You know, what are your struggles? What are the challenges? What's getting in the way of your goals? And if we don't have customers yet, then we can ask people who would be our customers or our target market. And in my experience, people are happy to chat, you know, and answer questions. And, you know, people do love to talk about their problems. So that's the second part of the framework. Thanks for the comment, Andy. So how are we doing so far? Any questions or otherwise at this time? Cool. So at
Question.
this, yeah.
Okay, so I see for some of those websites, it's very sort of focused on a very simple thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it sort of narrows it down to a very simple concept.
Mm-hmm.
And would you sort of suggest doing that? And like, what if, say, like in my case of a farm, there's maybe a lot of different aspects of why people would want to get stuff from a farm. It might
Mm-hmm.
be for health reasons, it might be for money reason, it might be for a lot of different reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
in that case, like, would you still suggest sort of narrowing it down to one thing, or is there like a sort of way you could have multiple things, or like, or is it going to get too complicated and that's almost going to be less effective?
Yeah, awesome question, Jason. It depends on it. Have you made a list of kind of the things, the reasons that people come to your company, or the reason that people are buying from you?
uh I haven't made a sort of written list, but I do know the various reasons. I mean, for
Mm-hmm.
example, people want to like support local, and
Yeah.
then other reason could be somebody wants organic food,
Mm-hmm.
and then another reason could be somebody wants maybe different types of vegetables that you can't find in a store, not
Great.
necessarily wanting it healthier, but just that there's more variety and different options.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be like maybe a top three of reasons, right?
Definitely. So the later on the presentation may answer this question, but just to answer it sort of specifically right now, yeah, I would want to touch on all of those because they're clearly important to all customers, but you might want to not want to, you might want to focus on the overarching idea for like the top part of the website, what's most important or what encompasses all. Then you touch on each one of them, and I'll give some examples later that might uh, shed some more light on that. And if there's still, you know, uncertainty, then we can look more specifically. But I think it's important to touch on a number of things for sure. Not necessarily just focusing on one for sure.
Right. Okay. But sort of
Yeah.
having like the first impression to be very focused and simple, maybe like one
Yes.
thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
People are very
Okay.
time poor, right? So try to hook them with that moment, something that'll hopefully speak to a number of your target audience, and then you talk more in specific with each one of them, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep. Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. So yeah, you know, we've identified the challenges, what's getting in the way now, and our visitor may be feeling helpless, and we don't want this. So we introduce another character, which is the guide. And if the hero solves their own problem, then the audience is going to tune out because we know that if they solve their own problem, then they wouldn't get into trouble in the first place. So you've seen this guide in nearly every story you've listened to or seen or watched. Can anyone think of some examples of this hero guide dynamic? I need like the
Harry
Jeopardy
Potter
music. I
and
can like, sorry, go ahead.
Harry Potter and Dumbledore.
Definitely, that's a big one for sure.
I'm gonna say Little Mermaid and Ursula. Does that work?
That might be the anti
She's
hero,
the
but I still like
anti-guide.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't I feel like in the Little Mermaid maybe Sebastian might be more more of
Oh,
the guide.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, but thank you for bringing up a female example, because when I was looking for examples, I was they were all male, so I had to dig deep to find some female examples. But yeah, if anyone wants to make a screenplay, um, there you go. We have, yeah, Harry and Dumbledore, Frodo and Gandalf, Neo and Morpheus, Luke and Yoda, Pocahontas and Grandmother Willow. So always position your customer as the hero and you're the guide. If you don't, you will die. Not literally, but there are 2 mental triggers that will help people recognize our brand as the guide. So that's going to be empathy. We want to include empathetic statements where we can, show that we recognize their troubles, their frustrations, their hopes and dreams. You know, all humans want to be seen, heard, and understood, right? So here's an example of what that could look like. You know, life can get busy, and we know how valuable your time is. You know, that's empathy. And then we also want to demonstrate authority, show that we're the expert, we have the answers and the right to their business. And we can do this through testimonials, reviews, case studies, awards, publications in press, certifications, etc. So here's some examples. This is a plumbing company that I work with in Whistler, and it's very important for this company. You know, he's coming into people's homes, right? There needs to be trust there, and it was very important that we could showcase all his Google reviews from a third party right on the home page to help build that trust. So this is a way that we did that for him. This is Cutting Edge Catering. They demonstrate empathy and authority in this one section. You know, we don't just care about great food, we care about you, and we know you want your event to go smoothly, right? And then they also showed the awards that they've won, which I'm assuming counts for something in the wedding world there. We'll look at one more. This is a section from the Tofino Yoga website that we launched in the fall. And this shows all of the impressive publications that they were featured in with the goal of building more trust. So by demonstrating these qualities, empathy and authority, you know, we make a significant difference in the way that we're perceived and remembered. But that might not be enough. There's still a gap between our customers, their affection for our brand, if they like us, and then the decision to actually invest in what we're offering. So we need to give them a plan. I'm gonna have a sip of tea here. At this point in our journey, we've identified something the customer wants, defined what's getting in the way, introduced ourselves as the guide, we've expressed empathy, and demonstrated authority. But there's one thing missing, and that is a plan. We need to place big stones in the river to help them get across, as though that we're saying, you know, first step here. That's easy. And then step here and here, and you'll be on the other side, and your problem will be solved. Remember this mantra. If you confuse, you lose. And not having a plan is a great way to confuse customers and people in general. So this should be easy to understand without too many steps. We can number them in order. Of course, our brains like patterns. You know, this can be a process. For example, here's a business coach for construction companies. You know, he likely has a lot more steps than 3, right? But condense them to make this easily digestible. You know, schedule a call, co-create a plan, and get your freedom back, which I'm assuming is his kind of value proposition. Get your freedom back and build your business like a boss. The last one speaks to that benefit. This is a section for a website I'm building right now for automotive shop in Squamish, which is schedule an appointment, diagnose and repair, and then hit the road with confidence, which is ultimately the outcome that his customers are looking for. So plans come in all different shapes and sizes, but the purpose is to alleviate any confusion and show the customer that how they can start working with us and that we have a plan. We've done this before. We know what we're doing. You're in good hands, right? So at this point in the story, hopefully our customer is excited and they might be ready to take the next step, but they need one more thing, and that is a call to action. Audiences, we know that people don't wake up and just change their lives unless something or someone challenges them to do so. So we need to send a very obvious message to take this step now and begin on the path of getting what they want. So here's a great example of what not to do. Now, how does this make you feel? This page make you feel?
Makes my head hurt.
It makes your head hurt. Yeah, what are you probably going to do if you hit this page?
Exit.
Probably. Right, there's too much going on. There's too many calls to action. You know, we got this free 30-day trial, 2-day shipping, we got featured products, we got this bright red section with other products. It seems like a case of having too many cooks in the kitchen, which doesn't really work. And we don't want our visitors' heads to hurt. Here's another example. This is the opposite problem. We don't have any clear call to action here. You know, this is a healthcare consulting company. I kind of had to work to figure that out. And I'm assuming they want you to book a consultation or something, but the closest thing to a call to action I can find is these little green buttons down here, which looks like they're just, you know, articles or something. So we don't want to do that either. Here's an example of a great call to action. Do you want more traffic? Analyze my website. You know, this is really clear. It's compelling. It stands out. You know, these should be prominently featured on the site. There shouldn't be any confusion about where the visitor needs to go when they're ready to take action. So there's two types of calls to action. These ones, this one, book an appointment, is an example of a direct call to action, which is something like, you know, buy now. Or schedule an appointment. You know, it's bold and it leads to a sale. We also have transitional call to actions. These are for if a visitor is, you know, they're not ready to buy yet, but they're interested. You know, maybe this lead needs some nurturing, or maybe they're just not at the point where they're ready to buy yet. This can, I'm sure you've seen a bunch of these. You know, it's kind of a thing like download our guide or our checklist or our video course or something like that, right? It's like an on-ramp for potential customers, which is less risky, and it usually contains something valuable for free. So now we, of course, want to help them avoid failure. What do visitors lose by not taking action? We don't want to be fear mongers or invent stakes that don't exist, but we do want our story to have stakes, because without them, there is not really a story. For example, you know, a financial advisor, they could be helping avoid their clients, you know, not being ready for retirement, having a lack of transparency with their financial advisor, hidden fees. A used car company might address being ripped off or stuck with a lemon, because these are common things that people fear. You know, when you go into a used car lot, you know, you don't want to haggle, you don't want to get taken advantage of, right? This is an example from that catering company we looked at. You know, it paints a bit of a picture. Late food ruins events. You deserve the best. You know, kind of makes you think of angry wedding guests and just ruining the best night, right? So the key here is to use it like salt. You know, we don't want to turn people off by putting this all over the place, or you know, inventing stakes that don't exist. You know, for example, if you're a soft drink company or something, you know, my soda isn't fizzy enough, right? It's not a real stakes. It's not, it's not anything. That kind of business might be better off highlighting the benefits, you know, all the fun you can have with our soda pop, whatever, right? Cool. So the last step is that people want to be taken somewhere. You know, where are we taking them? Financial security, their dream body, their dream home, you know, delicious vegetables. What does life look like when the character succeeds? We want to, you know, close the story loop. We can use happy images of people on the website using our products. You know, this releases dopamine. It helps visitors really visualize themselves using your products or services. And use the images intentionally. I see a ton of websites that have just random photos or like bad stock imagery slapped up, and they're missed opportunities. You know, stock photos are okay, but use ones that look authentic and feel real. You know, for example, if you're an interior designer or sell custom furniture, a successful resolution might be a beautiful room with high quality pieces. If you're a realtor, you could show images of happy clients in their new home. You know, this is the happy ending to our story. So one place, I'm gonna drop this in the chat here to find, I found these are really good royalty-free photos. They're high quality, that are free. And I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this site, but in case you're not, unsplash.com is fantastic for finding photos. There's a few others, but I'll keep it at one for now. Okay, so now bringing it all together. That was a lot of info. Hopefully it all made sense, but it'll make more sense when we look at it in action. So we're going to look at a couple websites that are live that do a really effective job of storytelling. So the first one, hopefully this works. Everybody can see that? Cool. You know, they've got a strong value proposition in the hero section, 45 minutes to the best workout of your life, concise description, high intensity Pilates class, and calls to action for wherever you're located. You know, oh, Jason, this kind of might answer your question. You know, they have one clear heading, and then down here, you know, they've touched on a few key benefits. You know, these are things that people are interested in. You know, for you, it might be you know, fresh local ingredients, you know, local business, and whatever you think you feel is most important, right under the hero section, right? That might be effective for you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, that seems like a good sort of way to lay it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have, this is the empathy section. You know, tired of programs that overpromise and underdeliver. So are we. I'm assuming they've probably experienced this as well. And then they show their kind of promise. You know, they tell a little bit about the company, and then they demonstrate their authority with some testimonials. I'm sure you guys have seen lots of examples of testimonials on websites. Will guide you to feel your best. You know, they've established themselves as a guide and give us a plan. And then, you know, happy resolution. We've got, you know, fit people working out, happy, smiling. Yay, everybody wins, right? So I thought that was a good example. Let's take a look at one more. So this is Cutting Edge Catering, and I like what they've done here. They've got an emotionally engaging headline, you know, have an unforgettable, amazing event with a clear description, quality catering for weddings and events, and they've used their calls to action here. Got a section about promotions, some key benefits, You know, this is where they've expressed what failure looks like and how to avoid it. They've started to demonstrate their authority with this testimonial and some awards. We've got a bite-sized breakdown of their services, which can be very effective if you have a lot. You know, giving you a plan and another call to action. This call to action should be matching the way the other one looks for consistency, but then they've shown, you know, images like of how nice the food looks and how well it's prepared, and you know, maybe it'd be nice. I would like to see maybe more people in this. You know, smiling, happy people would be nice, but food is very important, so that's great. Yeah, there's a couple examples. Now, how can I apply this to my website? You know, if you want to, if you like this framework and feel like it could work well for your business, then I created a blueprint for myself that I use on the websites I build that might be helpful. That I made a Dropbox link. We'll take a look. We'll take a little look at it now, but this is what it looks like, and I'll share this link with you. Make that a little bigger. Basically, it's just kind of a skeleton. You know, the outcome your customer wants, description, a call to action, some of your benefits, empathy section, you know, a little bit about your company and how you solve the problem, a little bit more about the benefits and why people want to work with you or why they should, you know, some easy steps, you know, how you can improve your customers' lives, some social proof, however is fit for your business, you know, some of your services, final call to action, maybe if you want to include a transitional call to action down here, and then our footer. So I'm gonna pop that. This is just a Dropbox link, and that's for you. Great. Okay. So that's kind of the end of the presentation part. Now, I thought it might be fun to do maybe some live website audits. We've got like a bit of time left, so we could take a look at somebody's website. We could see what's working well, and maybe there are some opportunities for improvement. So is anyone interested in getting up in front of the class and we can take a look at their website?
Yeah, sure, I can do it if nobody else
Awesome.
wants to.
Thanks, Jason.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, just give me a sec. I guess I'll put it in the chat here.
sure. The chat's perfect.
Okay, just
Yeah, and
hold
maybe
on.
if anybody else wants theirs done, they could put their link in the chat as well, and we'll start with Jason, and if we've time for another one.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll do kind of a
yes.
condensed version.
All right. Oh, I don't know if I can make that a link there, but
That's all right. I'm sure I can copy that. Cool. Okay.
it's been a while since we updated it. It's a winter project.
Totally. Definitely. Yeah, for you, for sure. Winter projects, eh? Yeah, so this is really nice. I mean, you've got this beautiful, colorful image, a vibrant call to act. This is fantastic. A lot of sites I look at don't have a clear call to action. They say like, this is actually, you know what you want people to do and you're leading them there, right? Okay. So I think a couple things right off the bat, like opportunities for improvement. You want your call to action to match whatever your call to action is up here. So, you know, this one's highlighted. you might want to have a persistent call to action in the header, which I'm assuming you don't, right? So if people are scrolling down the website, we want to have it on all pages. So if you go to any of these pages, they can still easily sign up with you. So you might just want to copy this, put it up here, and then take this effect off. I'm assuming this is an effect where if the page is active, then it's purple.
Right. Yeah, that is an effect. Yeah. And that button is the CSA info. That would be where they would go to get more information. And there's also another button to sign up there. But you're right. It could be more clear as instead of saying CSA info, it could say CSA sign up. So they can just anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, continue.
And I would even think like maybe like, you know, what if like someone like me who's completely unaware of you guys, like I don't even know what a CSA is.
No, I mean, I prefer to just call it a veggie box, but that's what people call it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know your customers, so if that's what they resonate with, then great. Also, you don't even need the home button. You want to have as few links up here as possible. I think by now most people know if you click the logo, it'll take you home. So we can just clean that up by getting rid of the home. You're going to want to get an SSL because this is not secure, which should be easy enough to do through, I see it's powered by Weebly, because that'll build trust, right? Anything where, I don't know if they have to take, I'm assuming you don't take payments on here, but anything to do with money especially, you're going to want to have that little lock. See here. Oh, maybe, I don't know if you can see it on Dropbox. Okay, oh, and you can't because I'm doing things. But anyway, you know, there's a little lock here. So that would be helpful. One more thing is the imagery is beautiful, but it's difficult to read this, and we want things to be really, really legible. So your options are, you know, you could put a filter on this so it's a little darker and bolden this up to really make it pop, or maybe the image only takes up half or a section of the hero section, or there's a gradient fade where you can really read it, because I can't read. This is the most important thing on your website, probably, is this sentence right here. And I do have difficulty reading it.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, this is a perfect opportunity to showcase what you guys do. So, you know, fresh, organic, weekly produce box, and then subscription is now open. Like, great. But yeah, nice job, dude. It looks sharp. And we've got a little bit about the company. This is really great. I know you guys have photos of you, and I know that's part of the thing that people are looking for. I would love to see photo of you and the fam maybe here or something, because you know, someone might read this, but they'll be a lot more inclined to read it if it grabs them emotionally and they can see, oh, this is a local young family, and they're, you know, doing this amazing service with this great quality food. They've got this strong mission. People can really connect with that. People are going to be like, heck yeah, sign me up. I don't just want veggies. I want to be on Team Seed of Life, right? That's part of what you're selling, I would venture a guess at.
Yeah, I mean, definitely after seeing some of those examples that you've had, like, you know, in this section here, just breaking it down, like I seen in your examples of just like having a main thing, and then maybe directly underneath having just a breakdown of like 3 points that are like, you know, what we provide, and then just that would be simpler than maybe just having a paragraph. It'd be easier to read just like 3 separate points of like, you know, local veggies, organic, whatever.
Exactly. There's a place for this, but it's probably
in the about page or something like that. Yeah,
exactly. Or at least further down the page. So I feel like that's probably, considering time, that's probably good for this website. Does anybody else want to?
Yeah, there's actually Mallory put her website in the chat.
Oh, I see it.
Got it?
I did, but I also mentioned I'd see a number of issues right away. And so
Yeah,
there's,
no.
I mean, it might be a good example of a bad website at this
There's-
point.
I'm just
Oh,
thinking of how bad the chamber website is in regards to
Yeah.
these tips as well. So
Yeah.
don't be hard on yourself.
oh, not a bad
I have a
website.
question to ask as well.
Sure,
Once we're
is-
done going over the websites.
Sure. Yeah, I think this will be the last one that we do. So great. So first of all, looks super sharp. Love the imagery. You know, it looks very sophisticated. It feels high end. It feels like a lot of care goes into your work. You know, you've got this beautiful studio and everything is. Are these photos of you or are these stock photos?
These are photos of me. Yes.
Nice, even better. I mean, I wouldn't have known, but that's fantastic. So that's great. So you've said clearly this part of the hero section here, you want to tell people, you know, who you are, what you do, and why they should care. And so you've said who you are, what you do, and why they should care, which is fantastic. Now, I would love to see, okay, the primary read here is your logo, which is, I would argue, not the most important thing. It is important that people know who you are, but it's more important is the benefit that you provide for them. So, you know, I don't know exactly what you want to say here, but something, you know, you could draw from this one, you know, contribute positively to the communities or whatever. Lead with something attention grabbing, something strong that like who think about the person that the site is for. What do they want to read there? What's really going to connect with them? And then so you have your logo up here at the top. If you want to go a centered justified layout, you know, you have your logo smaller up here. You have the primary read is that main heading, what outcome you're offering. Then you have this full service architecture design studio in Tofino, BC, right?
You have exceptional design already in your description, like something like that, you know, like putting that at the top or as the main. Is that what you're thinking, or like is it more of a sentence?
It could.
Oh. Oh gosh, I muted you instead of muting myself. I'm so sorry.
That's enough, dude. We
You're
got
cut
places
off.
to be here. Yeah, I would say that, you know, if that's what you decide is most important to your visitor is exceptional design. It might be, it might not be. You would know best of anyone, right? Yeah. So, and then that's great. The other thing I would say is, I'm very touchy about social media stuff here on their website, especially homepage, because these are exit signs to your website. Now, these are the ultimate weapon of mass distraction, right?
Right.
We do not want to say, because once someone goes to Instagram, they'll probably forget that they were on your web. They're not coming back. Right. So with a caveat of, is there a really strong reason you want to send people to one of those platforms?
No, not really. I was trying to work with a call to action, which is why they're there. But it makes sense what you're saying. It's not the right call to action because now they're just leaving my website before they even enter it.
Right. So let's talk about calls to action then. You know, what is the first step towards working together? Is it an email? Is it an intake form? Is it, in a consultation, either via Zoom or in person or the phone? What is the first step?
Yeah. So when you hit enter, then I have contact. In the next one.
Here.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So, and you might already know what I'm going to say, but just make that boom, make that big. You know, make it really obvious. Make it match this one if that's what you want to do. Contact us. I would recommend, you know, a more compelling copy for this button. And contact us is what you're doing. We are contacting you, but you know, start a conversation or you know, explore architectural you know what I mean.
Okay, free consultation, something like that, even though that's not maybe not what you're offering, but like
Yeah, free consultation is good because it's free. And I read a study recently that especially if you add my in there, for some reason this is more effective. Book my free consultation. You know, and people are like, oh yes, like that performed like miles ahead of book or book your, like book my free consultation. Just a little side note there. Yeah, and then I think honestly, this is your homepage. This is just for SEO purposes as well. This is an about page. I feel like we could eliminate, we always want to eliminate clicks, right? This could be a beautiful hero section of your website that we don't need to click. You know, we just scroll down and go to the next page. You know, this could be a really, really sharp hero section. You know, we put the logo up here or here. You have, if you have your links, navigation links here, sort that out. And I think we wouldn't need to funnel traffic to the about page and then find the call to action, right?
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. So does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, that's great.
the
Thank
pictures
you.
are awesome. Such good pictures.
Thanks.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Love those. Okay. So we're getting near the end here. So I thought that we will open it up for questions. Oh, also, sorry, one more thing. If you guys like the idea of this website audit, but maybe didn't want a more in-depth one or don't want to do it in front of everybody, I'm offering just for the people in this workshop a free website audit, kind of like what we just did there. And you can book it through this Calendly link if you want to do that.
That's amazing. Thanks, Joel.
Yeah,
That is
glad you
amazing.
guys-
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I appreciate everybody showing up.
I did have a question for you, and it's kind of, it might be specific to the business that I'm building a website for, or it could apply to other ones as well. But essentially, I'm building a website for TUCG, Tofino Ucluelet Culinary Guild,
Mhm.
and I'm struggling with what call to action I should be focusing on because there's kind of two different types of customers that we're dealing with. We're dealing with, you know, people who aren't yet members of the guild and people who are. So
Okay.
the one customer who aren't yet members, we want them to sign up for a membership. And then the other folks who are joining the website who are members already, we want them to order now. So I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on that
Yeah.
one.
That's a great question. It seems like Tug's getting the love here. I've definitely had you guys' stuff. It's fantastic. So yeah, that's a great example of kind of a challenge on there. Do they, people that are already, do they have to make an account? Are they on, do they have like an account there?
Yes.
website?
So
Okay.
essentially you need to log in to your account to be able to order.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think, and I'll see while I'm talking if I can find an example of what I'm talking about. Which I have. Okay. This is a site that kind of faced a similar challenge, and we could address it in the same way. Okay, so you know we have an area where people log in, and if it's, you can make it a little more obvious than this one. This one is very subtle. It's a little, it's, you know, more subdued, but the main call to action is we want more customers, right? We want more people to sign up. So that's the main one. And then for people that already do, they go to the client login. And if you wanted to, you could make it a separate button even right here, and that takes them to their portal. And then you have on that page a very clear call to action, which is order, right? That's one way you could approach that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
would,
do you
yeah.
think maybe having just the one button in the hero section to like sign up for a membership, and then on the client login portal have like a order now area?
Given just the information that you told me there, that's probably what I would do. Before I made a definitive decision, I'd want to know maybe how many, you know, I'd want to maybe know a little bit more information before like saying, yes, definitively, this is 100% what you should do. But that's what I would do. Yes, make it obvious where you can sign in, and then have a clear to call to action on that section of the website.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Totally. Oh, thanks for the offer on the review. That I hadn't thought about that. That's fantastic. Hopefully, I've been fighting with Google all week because my reviews are not posting, and they don't know why. But hopefully, I'll have that sorted out. Yeah, I'll share the link right here. Thanks so much. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you, Joel. That was amazing. I learned a lot in that short amount of time.
Oh, thanks, Jen, and thanks for hosting and taking care of all the Zoom related stuff. And I really appreciate that. It's nice to just kind of show up and talk. So
Really, and do a full presentation as well. So like I mentioned, if you find it useful and you want to invite other people to check out the webinar, it'll be on the Tofino Chamber YouTube channel. So I'll post it there tomorrow.
wonderful. And here's that link. Now I'm really hoping this is going to work. Hopefully Google is going to cooperate with me if you do feel like leaving a review.
And while Joel's doing with it, well, you've got it up, perfect. Anybody have a quick question, last question you want to ask? Great, awesome. Well, thanks for
Amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. That was fantastic. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can ending it any bit early. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Thanks again, Joel.
All right.
Yeah.